On projects like this, it can be difficult to look back because the road has been so windy. There's always limitations with all manufacturing processes. For us, it's really about overcoming whatever those limitations are.
Onsite wastewater is going to be a new segment for Prinsco, but that's very connected to our other segments, particularly the stormwater segment. And we're going to attack a key portion of that, which would be the septic chambers. So we were able to work with the Douglas brothers and DI Labs to develop a super innovative chamber. They're putting the Pro 4 in front of Prinsco and their customers, and everyone will be excited when they see this chamber.
When we started this project with Prinsco, we became the experts at the very beginning. We discovered that there were areas that we could work within and others that we couldn't. One of those key constraints is having a straight sidewall on the louver area. Having a straight sidewall is a serious challenge to overcome for structural requirements. If we go straight up on the sides, we can only go up so far before we have to make an arch shape to create the rest of the structural profile. And we found that we were really limited on that soil-water contact area, on structural capability, and that ultimately led us to this asymmetric design that we've landed on in the end. At the very beginning, we envisioned this being an injection molded product. Meeting all of the end-use customer requirements led us to looking at thermoforming. So we were switching between those, managing costing for Prinsco. At the end, our manufacturer was able to do more than what we were initially told. So we were able to switch back to injection molding and meet those cost requirements for Prinsco. We've learned so much along the way, and that's allowed us to transform this product. It's become a standalone differentiator for Prinsco.
The name of the game with injection molding and with these sorts of parts is minimizing your weight but maximizing your structural support. So with injection molding, we're able to add in a lot of these rib features and keep our part weight down to minimize our costs then too. Something that wouldn't be capable with other processes.
We're able to prototype either at partial scale or at full scale, so we could form high detail all of the features in the louver area and get quick feedback on what looks right and what doesn't. All product developers make assumptions along the way because it's simply not known until you have the final product in front of you, and even then, it's still an evolution of that product. I made numerous assumptions about how the product, how stiff it would be, how flexible it would be, and it just so happens with the asymmetric shape that we've gone with, it's flatter. It's going to be more stable as they're walking on the chambers when they're installing them. So part of our responsibility is to find those little Easter eggs in the product and make them a positive feature.
We really did push the limits, not only from a product design standpoint, but from a manufacturability. And the relationships that we have with these key members like DI Labs have allowed us to push the envelope and get to this product.
Having the technical collaboration with other team members in Prinsco where we're working side by side and having those team members own it as well and own their areas, that's super critical. They've been so committed to ensuring that this goes to the marketplace that it's made our job much easier. When we have that level of confidence with our partners, there's a lot of freedom that we have because we can operate with confidence that the actions that we're taking will lead to the success of the project.